got it done. No Messi, no Lautaro, no Rodrigo de Paul. Yeah, and still Argentina managed to win this one 1-0. In fact, Lionel Scaloni is not worried about those absences because this is what he said. The national team is a team. When one is missing, another steps up. We had some very important absentees, but we have great players to go out on the field. The team is always more than just the names. Frank watched it for us. Frank is joining us right now as well. But Ale, I mean, let's go to that quote from Scaloni because you could see that even without the names, Argentina got the job done against Uruguay in Montevideo. They're looking well to defend that World Cup for you?
Right. So I understand the message that Lionel Scaloni is sharing with his team, with everybody that wants to be part of this national team, and with everybody who's paying attention, that we are more than the names. But let me just focus on the other names. Not Messi, not Lautaro Martinez, but you look at the starting 11 from Argentina, and they're better than most teams around the world, even without Lionel Messi, even without Lautaro Martinez. So the first thing I would say is that there is depth in Argentina so that you can withstand the absence of guys like Lautaro Martinez and, of course, Lionel Messi. The other thing that we know from Argentina, and you don't have to watch last night's game to understand it, but last night's game was a very good example of that, is how good they are in morphing during matches, how they're able to shift and change who they are and the personality of the team. How at times, if they're forced to absorb pressure, they can do that and they can defend in tight areas and they can go on the counter and they can be that counter-attacking team. When they're called upon to have possession of the ball, they can do that too. And when they're called upon to go and attack and trying to find isolation or trying to find balls in behind, they're willing to do that as well. That flexibility is what makes this team so good and why the depth is so important, so that you can have players that can challenge in the midfield and win 50-50 balls. You can have players that can defend well in 1v1 situations, and you can have talented players that, given half a chance, can finish a game for you. And it wasn't Messi, and it wasn't Lautaro Martinez, it wasn't even Julián Álvarez, it's Thiago Almada. For some out there who may not know Thiago Almada, get to know Thiago Almada because he is a young player up and coming with the Argentina national team who among all the stars perhaps gets lost in the shuffle, but still a tremendously talented player, and he proved that yesterday. This team is scary good because how different they can be on any given moment during a game.
All great signs, Frank, and as Ale's saying, and as we saw from Scaloni, the importance of them being a team.
Yeah, that's crucial, and it's more than a team, it's a total squad, and I would say that he has like 35 players that he can count on, and it's very impressive, and they are all young, except maybe Messi and I would say Otamendi. The others, they're pretty young, so within 2 years they're going to be there, they're going to be at their best, and they're going to be a threat, and they can defend their title, easily defend their title, because they are, again, a squad, and somebody's missing, can be substituted, replaced, and be effective as well. I really enjoy, watching them to see how they worked hard together as a team. That makes a difference. We have never seen a team winning a World Cup again without being a team, without only counting on maybe the 86, maybe with Maradona with Argentina, where the guy was making the difference. But otherwise, it's always been a team. Yes, a legend on top of it is the icing on the cake, but you need the depth of a squad to maybe think that you can win the World Cup again.
Stevie, what does it do, the fact that you've won that World Cup? It's a whole change in mentality, anything that follows, from anything that goes on from there, knowing we already did that, we're defending world champions.
Well, they've taken a step forward from winning it. Some teams forget about the hard work and the determination that got them there, and they slip. This team's taken another step, and that's without particularly Messi. But what they are is they are the ultimate professionals, Argentina. To go into Montevideo and shut down a Bielsa side that we all talk about how it's pace and it's chaos when you play against Bielsa teams and they put you under pressure. I mean, Argentina just swatted them away like swatting a little fly with a huge tennis racket. I mean, they were never in any trouble. And then, like all good teams, start the second half, they sort of change gear a little bit, get a couple of chances, and then the final one from Almada sticks it home, and then they shut the game down. I mean, complete and utter professionalism, total control. Came for a point, but because they're so good and so professional, they just change gear, get the win.
And to your point, Stevie, this tends to be a big rivalry match, Uruguay-Argentina. And there's always this competition among Argentina and Uruguay, because obviously they're neighbors, but also because of they look at each other, and Uruguay at times looks at Argentina and what they've been able to do at the World Cup level in the modern era of the World Cup level, and producing the players that they have produced. And Uruguay has always kind of been the afterthought. And so there's this thought in terms of coming from Uruguay as to, okay, you're coming to Montevideo, we're going to make this into a fight. We're going to make this chaotic. And I thought what you just said there, Stevie, was really true in this match. A maturity from Argentina in terms of how to approach the match. You come to expect Uruguay that is going to be high energy, high intensity. We're going to run all over the place. We're going to pressure. We're going to make this chaotic. And Argentina simply, with maturity and with structure and with organization and calmness, patience, you run yourself out of energy. You run yourself out of this game. You run yourself crazy. We're going to be here. But when it comes time for us to be able to make a difference going forward, when the second half should be all about Uruguay trying to get the winner, it actually was Argentina that was closer to getting the winner. And then, of course, Almada has that kind of finish. But the maturity shown from this team is what allows Lionel Messi to be what Lionel Messi is for this team at this point in his career. That you have a structure of a group that is very clear as to who they are and what the roles are, allows Messi to provide the magic, and then the other guys just follow suit. But the strength of this group is not necessarily Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi is the moments of greatness. The totality of the group is what makes this team so dangerous.
With the Lionel Messi factor, obviously Lionel Messi is Lionel Messi. In the World Cup next year, what role is it for him and this side?
Depending on how fit he is and how healthy he is. And if you're Lionel Scaloni, it's good for you to see evidence that you can showcase to the players, and we can go into tough environments like Montevideo and get a result. Let's not forget that if you go back to last Copa America, Messi was struggling with injuries. And it was the strength of the group, and it was Lautaro Martinez with an individual performance that allowed this team to go on and win Copa America and really carry Messi, as Messi has carried Argentina in the past, carrying Messi into a continental title. Lionel Scaloni has to find those answers, because while he would want Lionel Messi to be fully fit and ready to go, there is no guarantee that that's going to be the case. And so he has to have a plan in place just in case Messi is not the Messi that they want him to be.
I think we saw that plan.
Yeah?
Saw that plan against Uruguay last night. Yeah. Absolutely. What a position to be in. Most teams, having a player like Messi and not being able to pick him for whatever reason, are going to be scratching their head going, what do we do now? This team's not doing that. This team's going, okay, we can do this without him. We'd love to have him, but if he's not available, that's fine. Here we go. Let's get it done.
I'm going to be fair to Vini Jr.
Why?
Well, I know. But in all the things that Vini Jr. has done over the course of his career and does seemingly on a weekly basis in La Liga, this was child's play. He was just trying to go the long way out so that he would waste time. Eventually, Rafinha gets involved. Mateus Cunha wanted to get involved as well. And it's presence of mind from Rafinha's perspective, his leadership, and actually somebody who's willing to say, Vini, por favor, please, just get. Let us finish this game off. Let us get our 3 points. And we'll need you for Argentina.
I'm not sure what your question was, because we were a little bit cut off. You were talking about...
We see why he's so important and why
yes.
his teammates want to make sure that he's available.
Of course he's important. He's one of the best players in the world. And when he's fit, when he's tuned in, he's maybe the best player in the world when he has the ball and he's committed. The problem with Vini that he's been sometimes distracted by many other things that he shouldn't be distracted for. Like Ali said, why do you bother, going the long way, wasting time, have a smile in your face, get out and just try to play the next game. That's really a pain in the neck sometimes from some players like that, where you see that they're wasting energies for nothing, they're complaining about everything, and they get suspended for stupid things, where the country, the teammates and the coach, they need them. And Vini, of course, is needed by all his teammates. It's why Rafinha and Cunha got upset because that guy was almost getting some red card for a stupid thing. And he's a great player. He's so talented. He has so much skills that he should be focused only on what he can do for his country and not wasting time for nothing.
Stevie, Ali was...
Can I just say, when I see him doing all this nonsense, when he gets involved in all this, it reminds me of what my mum used to say to me.
Okay.
Every time he used to take a report card home, my mum used to look at it and then she'd turn around to me and she'd go, Stephen, it's a good job all your brains are in your feet. And that's exactly what you can say about Vinny. It's a good job his brains are in his feet. Because it's going to catch up with him, He almost got himself out of this huge game.
Right.
Just because of his immaturity. And if he can just harness that in the right way, because although we see him with the petulance, when he's not actually doing that, can you imagine what's going on in his brain? And sometimes it pushes him to do great things, but you can bet a lot of the time it pushes him to do the wrong thing. And if he can harness that properly and turn into the mature player that one day he might become, then as great as he is now, imagine how good he would be. But seriously.
You know what he seems to need is, in a footballing sense, he needs an older brother in each and every one of the teams that he's a part of, Real Madrid and Brazil. Somebody who takes him and actually treats him like an older brother would treat his younger brother. And the times in which you need to actually grab your younger brother by the neck and go, stop. That's sort of what he kind of needs. He needs that figure of somebody who actually brings him back down to earth and say, buddy,
Ali,
up there,
Ali.
At that level that you're behaving, it's no good. It's not good for you. It's not good for us. It's not good for anybody. We need that edge. We need that whatever, that spice, that flavor that you have, but control it and bring it down here to where it's productive. Over there, not productive. Over here, very productive.
Frank?
I think he has the older brother. With all the experience, is Modric. Every day, he can see how the guy behaves and how mature he is and how calm he is, and you just have to follow him. And I think Modric should maybe tell him, stop doing that. Look at me. I never get upset. I always do the job. Don't do that. Do that. You should follow Modric. The guy is a Ballon d'Or. The guy is a legend. The guy is the captain of Croatia, and he has the perfect mirror that he should see himself in. And it's strange that he doesn't follow those experienced guys who are absolutely spot on the field.
I think Vinny needs that little bit of something, that chip on the shoulder, something that sensation that the world is against him. He seems to use that to fuel him. And now, look, if that's what you need in order to perform at a high level, so be it. All I'm saying is control it. Use that chip. Yeah, maybe the world is against you. Maybe these people are yelling at you. Those people are yelling at you. Maybe the referee's against you. If you want to use all of that, but channel it. And what I see from him is that it's all over the place and it's out of control. When it's out of control, then he forgets the most important thing that makes him one of the best players in the world. It's play the game. He forgets about playing the game.